Pokemon Mansion. We are going on vacation. So this is a Pokemon Mansion run. I didn't know exactly what I was going to get. Of course, I love spoiling the Pokemon in the thumbnail and title. Got GRIMER. Some would call him GRIMER. Some would even call him GRIMER. Who knows? I don't. Anyway, once again, this is an alternative main, glitchless classic Pokemon Blue, in this instance speedrun. No glitches, no bitches, and most important of all, no snitches. Do not tell anyone about these videos. This is our little secret. So of course I picked Squirtle. You know that by now. Squirtle's pretty much the best guy to go with here. Got an extra guy there, who cares? The way that I've been kind of doing these videos, I've been kind of trying to developing a little bit of a streamlined editing style. Not really, but I'm trying. Is just, you know, play the first part until I get the Pokemon on 10x speed or whatever. This part is not as important when it comes to the commentary, but I do like making sure that the entire run is visible. I don't like cuts. I don't like any of that. So I try to just speed through parts that are a little bit more boring, and that gives me an opportunity to, you know, talk about some stuff. Like GRIMER, for example, the reason we're all fucking here. But, you know, we're gonna look at Squirtle's Squirtle shell for a little bit longer. Actually, not that much longer. Wartortle shell will be on screen for a little bit longer. Got a Spearow there. Gonna need that guy later. I've been at the point where it's just like, I feel like it's probably just better off to just get the Spearow or Pidgey or whatever right there, than it is to, you know, just not, I guess. I mean, I don't know, like, I've been typically kind of going, the minimum grass tiles to get over the I think it's a lass or whatever to skip that, trainer. By the way, caught a Paris. Gonna need that guy later. I don't know, I think it might be better just to do an extra couple grass tiles just to guarantee that I get the flying Pokemon as opposed to doing it literally any moment later. I suppose, though, you could get flying type Pokemon pretty simply on the route when you're getting that rare candy on Cycling Road. I don't know. Whatever. Who cares? Anyway, we're talking about Pokemon here. I like Pokemon. Am I allowed to mention that? Is that allowed to say for me right now? Am I allowed to just go on a little, you know, gushing spree? This is my 18th run of Pokemon Red and Blue. I'm getting to the point where I feel like I know this game pretty well. You know, I've played it 18 times in the last couple months. And I've just been having a lot of fun. I mean, you know, oh, one thing to note is as of the recording of this video, I record these in bunches. You know, I like to play like 7 times in a week and then take a couple weeks off. But as of the recording of this video, I got my first subscriber on this channel. So, thank you for subscribing. It only took 18 runs. Well, I mean, I don't even know how many are up right now. I think 10, 11. I don't know. Anyway, who cares? I got a can here. Don't you love that sound? Like, you got that cock, and then, you know, it's kind of like when you're pointing a gun, and then you know, you cock the bull. Well, I'm not pointing a gun, but in movies, you know, when they do that. Anyway, it's a can of seltzer. Anyway, we're going to fight Bill. No, we're going to save Bill, because he's a Pokemon. Isn't that a little weird, by the way? But, like, Bill's a Pokemon. Is that ever brought up again? I stopped playing these games after the DS era, so... Well, in the DS era, actually. I stopped after, Platinum. But, is that ever explained? Human beings just, like, turning into Pokemon? I don't, it's just like, it feels weird to put that in the first game and then never elaborate. I don't know, maybe it is explained. Anyway, got Body Slam. Once again, I don't know who I'm going to end up using. This run, I decided to go to the Pokemon Mansion. The available Pokemon were, of course, GRIMER, Magmar, because I'm playing on Blue version, Coughing, Ponyta, and I think that's it. All the other Pokemon you can catch earlier elsewhere. So, for the rules of an alt-main speedrun, you want to get the Pokemon of choice in the earliest possible location with the lowest possible amount of badges. And that's what I love about this run, as opposed to the, you know, just use the Game Shark to hack in a starter Pokemon, is because it requires, like, different routing every time. Like, you know, for example, I, not too long ago did, you know, stuff like Nidoran, Geodude. And you can get those guys really early on the main route. Like, Geodude is in Mount Moon. You have to go there anyway. You'll definitely encounter a Geodude regardless. That kind of stuff. So, whereas this, you know, you really have to go... Really, I think the Pokemon Mansion is outside of Moltres, which is, like, in Victory Road, and that's barely even a run. But outside of that, I think, like, Pokemon Mansion may be, the furthest... grouping of locations that have Pokemon Mansion, the power plants, anything you need surf for. Seafoam Islands, even though the only one you can get there as early as possible is Seal and Araticuno. But you know, that's what I like about this. The routing. This is actually the furthest, as of this recording, this is the furthest run I've done with Wartortle. And this is a no evolution run for Grimer. But I do evolve into Wartortle, just because, you know, I want to see what Grimer has to do with it. I don't want to, like, spend 5 years, doing this part with Squirtle. it feels unnecessary to me. However, as a compromise, I do not evolve into, Blastoise. Because at that point, it's really, anytime I'd send Blastoise out, they're just going to be 10x better than Grimer. Whereas Wartortle, at least comparable. I'm going to be honest with you. I had no... This is a pee break, by the way. During that little moment where I sat there. Yeah, I gotta pee at some point. I play all these games in a single segment, no saving, no loading, with a speedrun timer. These are technically speedruns, so I'm just throwing that information out there. But Grimer is actually a lot better than I thought that they would be. I'm not sure. I think Coughing would have been the worst out of all the Pokemon I could have gotten there. Maybe I'll try Coughing later. When I do Coughing, I will do Coughing properly, and I will be, you know what I mean. It's Coughing. Anyway, but Grimer was actually pretty solid. I actually didn't look up. I'll be honest with you, okay? I've said this before. I don't know, and no one's watching these videos in order, probably, so, but whatever. I want to do these runs with the lowest amount of information possible. I loved Pokemon when I was a kid. I stopped playing the games for a very long time. I'm getting back into them now over the last few months for the first time since really I was a teenager. And I know a lot. I've picked up a lot of knowledge through osmosis. You know, I used to watch Pokemon speedruns like 12, 13 years ago when I started getting into speedrunning. I considered speedrunning Pokemon games when I started speedrunning games in about 12, 13 years ago. And I never did. You know, maybe I tried like a Beat Misty run once or whatever just to see what, but I never really went in, and then I kind of fell off, and I don't really know too much. So I know a little bit. I know about stuff like the badge boosting, that kind of stuff. I know that the glitchless speedruns on speedrun.com use glitches. I know that, you know, I know they skipped the fucking Sylph Scope. It's a glitch, I'm sorry. But then they got a category called Glitchless Classic, which is a newer category, but it's called Classic, and it uses less glitches. Weird stuff going on with Pokemon speedrunning. I've watched a couple Pokemon YouTube videos here and there. A lot of them are a little annoying to watch because everyone loves to do the YouTuber voice. Hey guys, I'm a YouTuber! And they never, you know, actually speak like a normal person, and everything's about, like, marketing to kids, and I feel like that's really weird. These games are like 30 fucking years old, you know? So why are we marketing this shit to kids? That's strange. Anyway, fuck, shit, fuck, ass, fuck, and also balls. Just throwing that one out there. So again, I'm trying to limit my information. I don't want to learn too much too quickly. I'm kind of trying to have fun with it as I go. Hopefully this filler commentary is acceptable. We'll be getting the Grimer shortly, I promise you. But anyway, once again, as I was saying, I'm learning as I go here, and I feel like I'm getting pretty decent. I feel like I've got the entire world map for Kanto pretty much in my mind. I don't know exactly what every trainer or NPC has or says, but I know all the ones on the main route. And that's pretty good, because I remember, like, at least up until, like, run 10, 11, I was still kind of getting a little, like, ooh, what is this? Oh, Oddish. Ooh, yeah, this Oddish is gonna cause me problems, you know, that kind of stuff. So, I feel like that's pretty much all ironed out. And again, doing the runs where you have to catch the Pokemon, speaking of which, I gotta do another Safari Zone run at some point. The first one and the only one I've done is Kangaskha, so that's pretty fun. Either way, the fun part is just finding and catching the Pokemon, and that to me is just like a huge component of this game. Yeah, the battling is super cool, but what I like about this particular category, Alternative Main, is that you have to actually find the Pokemon, you have to actually catch the Pokemon, and stuff like with the Safari Zone, that's super bizarre and interesting and cool. And then it's also, I like doing it under the guise of a speedrun and a single segment challenge. I'm sitting here, like, if you are doing saving and loading and, like, you don't mind going to sleep and coming back in the morning, or, like, saving and then catching the Kangaskhan first try every time or whatever, you know, just saving and loading until that happens, that removes a lot of the fun. And I don't do any sort of stat resetting. I don't, like, look at the stat. I honestly, and this is something I'm very specific about, is I try not to look at the stats, because I don't really want to know what good stats look like, bad stats. I really don't. And I'm trying to, and I know I will have to at some point. If I do want to put out at least a decent speedrun of this game, which I would like to do it at the end of this challenge. And the challenge, of course, is doing all 147, 46, one of them. One of those numbers that are eligible for this category without glitches. I would like to know the stat stuff and all that kind of, you know, later. But right now, I don't want to reset for a good Squirtle. I don't want to reset for a good whatever. I just go with the thing I catch. And that's just kind of how I run. And that's, to me, that's the most fun way to play this. If I were to try to do stuff like stat resetting on Squirtle, I would never want to play the game. I would be like, oh, I'll play Pokemon Blue. Do I really have like an extra 2 hours to like grind for a Squirtle? Like, I don't know if it takes 2 hours. I don't fucking know. But my point being, that I don't like doing that, so I base all of these around the fact that I'm probably gonna get a shitty Pokemon stat-wise once in a while. And so I got Koga's badge. Now we can actually talk about the route here, but I don't have Fly, because I can't do Lieutenant Surge yet. And so I have to do this really bizarre route all the way back to Palatown, which is really fun. I love doing this shit. This was actually, no, I had to do I think this exact route for Tangela, which was my 9th run. So but Tangela and the Pokemon Mansion are very similarly placed. I decided to get that Pokemon Center. I really shouldn't have. What I should have done is grab the Pokemon Center in Vermilion, so that when I escape rope, I just warp back to Vermilion. I'll be honest with you. When I play this game, I usually play it on a certain amount of substances, and I wrote it down. It was on a piece of paper, literally on my desk. Oh, here's Grimer. Hey, buddy. And I totally forgot, so I just went to the Pokemon Center there because I'm an idiot. But here's Grimer. One of the things about Grimer that's actually super cool is the level 35. As opposed to, when I was doing that Staryu or Horsey run, getting a level 15. That kind of sucks. But Grimer is really solidly leveled when it comes to Wartortle. Wartortle is only level 39. Grimer's 35. So, I don't, like, it, a huge portion of these runs that I've kind of gone over and over and over again, but it's different every time, is when you get that alt main, and of course alt main just refers to anything but Nidoking, because Nidoking is used in the Glitchless Classic World Record, and so anything but Nidoking is considered alt. But I really just the main I should be calling it. But when you pick up the main, usually it's going to be lower level than Wartortle or whatever starter you would choose, and so then there's that awkward in between where it's like you gotta level this guy up. But like with Grimer, I'm already late in the game. There's really not that many trainers left. There's like, I like to do all the trainers in Blaine's gym, and those are optional. But like including those, there's like 20, 25 trainers left in the game, maybe 30. And so like leveling up with that few amount of trainers, and then you feel like, do I really want to do optional fights? I do the ones in Blaine's gym as a matter of principle. Once again, Caterpie does not evolve into Butterfree. That is fake. That is not real. That's fraudulent. So I boycott the entire system on those grounds. But outside of that, moral, philosophical standpoint that I'm doing, and plus also when I'm doing these unevolved Pokemon, I just like the extra experience points. Like maybe when I get back up to doing full evolution runs, maybe I'll skip those guys. Maybe. I don't know. Okay. Because fuck that shit. Not Butterfree. It evolves into Metapod. I'm sorry. Anyway, I got really lucky with the trash cans there. I have no idea how that shit works. I thought I did for a little bit, and then I realized I really have no idea. But I got really lucky there, or maybe I didn't get lucky. Maybe I just, I don't know. Maybe something. I don't know. I fought this extra trainer here. I'm trying to fight a couple extra guys, just because I don't really know if Grimer's good. I didn't look at Grimer's base stats. Actually, I remember I was going to talk about that earlier. Sometimes I look at base stats, and then I used to do that, and then I was deciding, you know what, I'm just not going to. I'd rather not. I do look up the move pool, okay? I'm gonna be honest, that's the one thing I do. because I feel like moves are really important. So I do look up the move pool and which TMs I can learn and that kind of stuff. So I do know that ahead of time. That's the one thing I feel like you probably should know that, you know. And also it's like I could just do it myself and, you know, whatever. So the move pool, I don't mind looking that up. I'm going to take another sip out of this can that I mentioned. By the way, look, Tangela. And Victory Bell. I've done both of those Pokemon already. So I guess I should do Relay Plume coming up soon. But anyway, I know I do that a lot, but anyway. Fucking idiot. But anyway, now that Erica's gym is finished, I can, I think that's it. I caught up. I got Lieutenant Surge, I got Erica, and I got Koga already. So yeah, Sylph Corporation, here we go. And again, I'm kind of in this weird spot right now where it's like Grimer's kind of killing it, but like I feel like Grimer is not going to be killing it like in the long term. So I feel strange. I don't know. Should I be fighting extra guys? Should I be worried about like stuff like maybe buying extra Carbos or Calciums? I'm not really sure. But it turns out, in mild spoilers, that Grimer just did a great fucking job. Like Grimer was really fucking good. And it's around this time where I should also just mention I have a chart that I track all these guys on. And right now I've been doing a string of like a little bit better every time. Horsey was a little bit better than Staryu, even though I think Staryu should have been better overall. But whatever, you know, I'm only one person. I'm a tragic case. You know, here we've got the rival fight, by the way. But anyway, let's see how Grimer stacks up against these guys. Because I don't know, I feel like Staryu really should have been a lot better, and I think I really dropped the ball there. But like, is Grimer gonna be better than Staryu? Really, I don't know. We'll find out. But anyway. I know, I just did it like 17 times. Drinking game, everybody. However, in other news, we're fighting the rival. And this is really the first big test for Grimer. And Grimer's not really passing the test. I'm going to admit, I was a little nervous. So, like, again, I was really nervous going up against this. Before the rival, but then the rival, this is like the first great test, and I've already done all the other bosses, so I'm kind of fucked here. And then I'm really thinking, like, should I just keep spamming revives? I'm on Venusaur already, like, is this something good? Should I keep going? So I choose not to revive any other guys, and I just choose to go for it. And does that pay off? I'm using minimize instead of double team, so no double team, everybody, huh? No double team, huh? Yeah. Minimize, body slam, and shit. Probably should have just used the revive, but hey, whatever, it doesn't. Alright, is that really the end of the world? I lost on the rival. It happens, okay? I'm not perfect. Hell, you know what? And this is one of the fun parts about not resetting for stats. Hey, maybe my Grimer just has low stats. Huh? Hey, am I allowed? Are we allowed to postulate? I'm allowed. It's my video. In fact, I run this entire channel. I can do whatever I want. Well, you know. Not whatever I want, I guess. Free speech is dead. But, anyway, here we are again. Once again, going up against Venusaur. And, this time I've got some backup. I'm feeling a little bit more confident. I think I'm like 1 or 2 levels, up or whatever, you know, just from the experience of refighting the first part of the team. And, went pretty simply. So it was around this point where I'm like, I think as long as I am leveling up at a decent pace, or like as long as I like get at least a little bit lucky, I think Grimer can kick this game's ass. I really do. And it's around this point, I was still kind of nervous about Sabrina, but like I'm using body slam, body slam, body slam. I got minimize, which is great. Minimize, which is even better. And the double team. And so I'm still, again, like Sabrina can be rough, you know. And speaking of rough, this actually was a little bit rough. I accidentally went to use Thunderbolt. That was, you know, I was like, oh yeah, ground type. But Giovanni here was a little bit rough. So then this made me kind of worried about Giovanni in the gym battle, which is the only hard version of Giovanni. But, you know, I don't know. I was like, I don't know. Like, Sabrina has low physical defensive Pokemon. I'm kicking a lot of ass with Body Slam. And then also, still got Blaine, right? I'm not gonna lie to you, I totally forgot about Blaine. Both when I was doing this run, and then once again, right now, I totally thought that I had already taken care of this guy. Even though I explicitly mentioned earlier that I was gonna do him later. So, anyway, Blaine. That's the thing, when you come here so early, I was a little afraid of doing Blaine right away with GRIMER. I probably should have. Just for the special badge boost and everything, but it probably would have totally been normal difficulty. It wouldn't have been that hard, especially leading with the trainers. I would have been like, what, level 40? Probably could have done it. I probably could have done it. If you were going to do this, you should do it that way. And you should also warp back to Vermilion. But hey, whatever, who cares? Anyway, Arcanine. I love Arcanine in this one. Just super fluffy looking. Unlike, like, later games, Arcanine just looks like, you know, angry. Like, rah, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, I'm gonna bite you and kill you. Whereas in this game, Arcanine just looks super fluffy and you just want to hug that guy. So, shout out to Arcanine. Fluffy boy. Anyway, here we go, Sabrina. This is what I was afraid of. I'm just getting pwned by Kadabra. Just absolutely desecrated, and it's not even funny. So then I throw out Wartortle, which... You know, I'm just like, you know, I'm just trying to get this Kadabra out of the way. It's easier to set up your Minimizes against Mr. Mime, I should say. But, I don't know, man. I'm really trying here. Come on, Kadabra. Just die, bitch. Just die. No, it's not working. It's not working. And then, maybe level 5 Sparrow? No. Alright, well... Again, I was nervous. I was scared that this would happen, so I decided I'm going to get a couple levels at the real gym, the actual gym of Saffron City. For those of you that don't know, Sabrina is not only a psychic witch that can manipulate the world around her, but she's also a trust fund baby. And so basically, she manipulated the entire world and paid off a couple of senators to become the official Pokemon League gym here. So I gotta go patronize the official Pokemon gym, or the unofficial, but also the real Pokemon gym, the underground gym, the real one that I care about the most. Not this trust fund baby garbage gym, the Sabrina gym. But, you know, I gotta go beat this bitch's ass anyway. Anyway, got Kadabra out of the way, set up against Mr. Mime, and Venomoth, I like Venomoth a lot. I can't wait to do a run of Venomoth, but it's always like, you know, not that scary. And then I one-shot Alakazam, so I'm feeling really good. And again, Alakazam on Sabrina, in my opinion, is a harder version of the rival, and I dropped my pen. The rivals Alakazam, as well as the champions Alakazam, coming up soon. And so I usually, you know, if I can take down Sabrina, I feel pretty confident about that. But also, if I am wishy-washy against Sabrina in any way, then I'm probably not so comfortable. So at this point, I'm still kind of like... It hasn't really dawned on me that GRIMER is actually this good. So, I mean, maybe this is common knowledge. Maybe people knew this. Or maybe I just got an exceptional GRIMER. Maybe it's like all max deterministic values. I don't know. But what I do know is we're fighting Giovanni. And Giovanni I was really fucking scared of. Because my moves are pitiful against Giovanni. Just absolute garbage. One other thing, too, that I did with GRIMER is I taught them Fire Blast. Which... I forget what I erased. I think I erased, like... I don't know. I regret... teaching Fire Blast, but I don't remember the reason. I recorded this run a couple of days ago, so I don't remember the reason. But I taught Fire Blast just because Fire Blast is cool. I haven't used it yet. Then I was like, you know what? This guy can learn Fire Blast. I'm gonna teach him Fire Blast. But it was really hard to get through this Rhydon. It was just, you know, just chip damage away, just doing your little bits of damage here and there. Then I decided, you know what, fuck it. I'm just gonna bring out Wartortle. Whatever, dude. Who cares? You know. Whatever, man. The rules of these runs are GRIMER's the main, but it's not a, you know, solo or single Pokemon run or anything. So I could use a Wartortle if I need to. Whatever, dude. But I try not to. I really try not to do that. But in this case, the matchup really was so horrendous that I decided to just swap in. But again, here we go. This fight here is a big test case. If you nail this fight, if it's easy as hell, then ultimate confidence going into the Elite Four. But this Alakazam, you know, if you get that wishy-washiness, which I did on Sabrina, that means that, well, you might get fucked on the Rivals Alakazam. Okay. But I was thinking here, okay, let's use a Revive. Let's bring this guy back. They use Recover. Whatever. You know, maybe I should have used more minimizes. Whatever. Who cares? I can still get a kill in. Body Slam. Body Slam. Okay. All right. Body Slam. All right. Okay. Whew. A little scary. But now here we have my old friend Wenusar. And not so bad. So, again, I'm a little scared because that Alakazam, it's a wishy-washy situation. I could get killed. But I do have a lot of items, and items are my best friend. So, I'm going to use them. One of these days, maybe I'll do a no items run. But today is not that day. Sometimes I fight this guy on accident. He's totally optional, but sometimes I just fight him on accident. But however, this time I did not fight him on accident. I was trying to hit one more level up. If I don't, like, level up cleanly at the last Pokemon in the rival fight, I like to just fight a couple trainers in Victory Road just to get that last level up, and then I'll spam my rare candies. Now, I didn't know when to use my rare candies exactly. I've been kind of all over the place with when I want to use them. If I'm doing a fully evolved Pokemon, I will use them right here. If I'm doing an unevolved Pokemon, which I have been, I've been doing a series of those lately. Then I don't know if I want to use them all beforehand or if I want to do like a, you know, reconnaissance battle against Lorelo. I dropped my pen again. I don't know if that's audible, but I use my pen as a fidget toy, so. But I decided, you know what? Actually, I think Grimer's good enough. Just spam the rare candies here, and Lorelei should be able to be taken care of, and if not, well, I'm fucked. Who cares? But hey, okay, we're on Slowbro. So, you know, am I going to regret this or not? See, the thing is, if I were like level 55 or whatever, and this goes poorly, well, then I can just go back and train to more guys in Victory Road, or I can just grind up against Lorelei and then use rare candies afterward, and then maybe I'd be like level 65, 66, something like that, right? But that's not the route I needed to take. Lorelei was a little scary. But I managed to be okay. And Bruno, I'll be honest with you, Bruno is not too difficult. You know, I was a little scared about, like, you know, oh no, what about Machamp? Nah, not too scary. That Hitmonlee caused me a little bit of problems, but not too many problems. And again, Fire Blast is not super good, but it's kind of all I got, you know, like Thunderbolt doesn't work, so kind of just have to use Fire Blast there. But even with like a bad type matchup and no real good moves, I still managed to take out Bruno without really too much of a concern. And again, my moves right now feel pretty good against a trainer like Agatha. And it feels solid, you know, you got Minimize, get some badge boosting going in there. Thunderbolt, which is effective against a lot. I wish I had saved one more for Golbat, but hey, whatever. Fire Blast, which you're going to want, and also have an Elixir. Now, here's the thing about Elixir is, once again, no loads, no saves. So if I fucked up here and died, then I wouldn't have that Elixir. So, you know, I was a little nervous. Like, should I use the Elixir? Should I kind of try not to? What should I do? Should I just lose against the Gatha and then go in with the new low? And then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I looked at the timer, you know, I was like, you know what? I actually have a shot about this one. I think I could get a new, like, the thing with Ghastly was really good. Ghastly's just I don't know, man, Ghastly's insane. But I think I could beat all the other pre-evolved Pokemon, and that's what I was going for. So, you know what? I was like, fuck it, I'm going to use my Elixir. Let's see what happens. So now we're going into Lance. And, you know, Lance, well, he's got dragons. But fortunately for me, dragons in this game kind of fucking suck. I mean, like, they look cool, they sound cool, they got cool moves like Dragon Rage, but that only does 40 damage, and it's not really that big of a deal. And, you know, speaking of not that big of a deal, Grimer, not that big of a deal. Hyper Beam, you know, should have seen that fucking shit coming. Level 5 Spearow, doing me a solid, and Hyper Beam, survived. Alright, so Aerodactyl, definitely the hardest guy that Lance has. Dragonite, I'm going to do a mild amount of spoilers. They just kind of did agility or barrier over and over and over again. So it really wasn't that big of a problem. My damage was really low, and then they used the Hyper Potion. But, like, again, agility, barrier, is that the best he got? Okay. You're just going to keep doing that? Okay. See, again, in this game, Lance is just... Lance is either the hardest boss in the world or the easiest guy in the world's entire history. Whatever. One of these days, I'll get Fire Red. Yeah, Fire Red, Leaf Green. That's going to be fun. I'm going to do this entire challenge all over again in Fire Red, Leaf Green. And I'm not even joking, because I love those motherfuckers. I played Fire Red, Leaf Green a lot more when I was younger than I did Red and Blue. And I've told that story many times, but don't have time for it because it's the champion fight. So again, I'm really worried about Alakazam here. Grimer, I feel really confident with, but I'm just kind of scared. Sky Attack, is that gonna... Oh, critical hit. Oh. So now I'm nervous. Now I'm like, oh, fuck, I used my elixirs. I get one shot by Sky Attack, but it was a critical hit. So, is it going to happen again? And then, you know, I don't know. I'm just scared. But it was a critical hit. I'm just going to use Thunderbolt, get rid of the Pidgeot, or at least do some damage. I don't know. The thing is, I kind of was scared. I'm like, I'm going to use Minimize until they try Sky Attack again because you get that lead on term. And then it just happened immediately. But I didn't use that many Minimizes, and I was kind of worried about Alakazam. By the way, I love that Minimize does that to the sprite. Double Team has nothing on Minimize, by the way, because that shit is just so funny. It is so funny that this is what they chose to do with Minimize. Ah, it's so good. Look at this little fucking idiot. And then you're just that forever. And then they Tail Whip me, which gives me extra badge boosted stats, so that was good. But again, I got super lucky on Alakazam with the reflecting. Didn't even really do any damage, and just wrecking the champion. At this point, Fire Blast, I'm saving that for Venusaur. Gyarados, one hit, one kill, but now I'm level 66, and my stats reset a little bit, so I'm a little scared. And, you know, I'm hoping that these Leers connect. Come on, use Leer, give me one boost. It's not working. Thunderbolt just for fun. And now, here we go. The final battle. Grimer, level 66. Venusaur, level 65. Fire Blast. Didn't even fucking do it, but you got burned. And you chose to waste your last turn on a Solar Beam that you knew, everyone knew, would never come to fruition. That's the end of the game. But the real question is, and this is where the chart slides back on screen. Yeah, just slide it on. Well, actually, no. We're going to make the chart, like, start really small, and then kind of... And then it's... Okay, so this is when we think, like, is Grimer going to be better than Staryu, than Horsey, than Ghastly? No way, not even close. But we'll see. Right now. So, it turns out Grimer was one of the best runs I've done so far, and the second best of the non-evolution runs. And, that's awesome. I didn't think Grimer would be this good. Either I got really unlucky and played poorly with the other guys like Staryu, or Grimer was just that good, but then also the time bonus of not having to do a bunch of extra leveling. Catching that bitch at level 35 really did a lot of help. But anyway, thank you all for watching this, and I will end this. I will end it. Goodbye.